What's up, faithful? This is Victor, and welcome back to 49ers Nation Report. Let me start with a simple question. What if Brandon Aiyuk is really gone? And the 49ers respond by trading for one of the most dominant wide receivers in the entire NFL? Because today, the 49ers are suddenly being linked to a $96 million superstar receiver. This isn't just Twitter noise. This is coming from ESPN League evaluators. Before we break down how real this is, why the Niners are being connected, and whether this actually makes sense, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. We just launched this channel, and our next goal is 200 subscribers. If you're a real 49ers fan, your support helps this channel grow every single day. Alright, faithful, let's talk about AJ Brown and why the 49ers are suddenly in the middle of blockbuster trade buzz. ESPN links AJ Brown to the 49ers. Here's why it matters. According to an ESPN offseason prediction piece, NFL scouts around the league have identified the San Francisco 49ers as a potential landing spot for Eagles wide receiver AJ Brown if Philadelphia decides to trade him this offseason. Now let's be clear about one thing right away. This is not reporting that a trade is imminent. This is league-wide evaluation and dot connecting. And in the NFL offseason, that's often how big moves start. Why would the Eagles even consider trading AJ Brown? On the surface, this sounds crazy. AJ Brown is a true WR1, a matchup nightmare. One of the most physically dominant receivers in football. But ESPN pointed out something important. Cap math. If the Eagles trade AJ Brown after June 1st, they could save $7 million in cap space. That June 1st detail is huge. Around the league, that's when big contracts become movable, teams restructure books, trade talks suddenly heat up, and there's also this quiet but real factor. ESPN mentioned, Brown's long-term comfort level in Philadelphia may not be rock solid. That doesn't mean drama, it means uncertainty. Why the 49ers keep coming up in these rumors? Now let's bring this back to San Francisco. Why do scouts even mention the 49ers in the same sentence as AJ Brown? Simple. Because wide receiver is suddenly a real question mark. Brandon Aiyuk changed everything. ESPN's recent coverage has been very clear. The 49ers still have to figure out what's next at wide receiver, especially after voiding Brandon Aiyuk's future guarantees, placing him on the reserve left team list. That's not a small move. That's a line in the sand. If Aiyuk is truly done in San Francisco, the 49ers don't just need depth, they need a difference maker. Enter AJ, a true win-now receiver. This is where AJ Brown makes sense, at least on paper. Brown is the type of receiver who changes defensive game plans immediately, forces safeties out of the box, creates space for everyone else. We're talking about a player who, when healthy, consistently puts up 400+ yards, double-digit touchdowns, elite yards, after-catch numbers. Put AJ Brown in a Kyle Shanahan offense? That's terrifying for defenses. Why this fit makes football sense? Think about it. The 49ers are in a win-now window. Brock Purdy on a team-friendly deal, for now, elite talent across the roster, championship expectations every season. This is exactly the type of situation where teams consider swinging big. And that's why scouts say, that's a team that could talk itself into an elite, ready-made WR1. But let's be real, this won't be cheap now. Let me slow everyone down for a second. Brown costs, real draft capital, real money, real cap planning. The 49ers would have to be comfortable with his contract, be aggressive in trade talks, believe this move puts them over the top. This would not be a casual decision. The bigger off-season context matters. This rumor doesn't exist in a vacuum. The 49ers already have a loaded off-season. Defensive coordinator turnover reports say Robert Saleh is leaving again, this time to become head coach of the Titans. George Kittle's injury timeline coming off a torn Achilles, with optimism for an early season return. Major roster decisions. ESPN has called this a consequential offseason for San Francisco. All of that affects how aggressive the front office might be. What happens next? Right now, this is still in the connected dots phase, but here's what to watch closely. 1. Do the Eagles signal they're open to business closer to June 1st? 2. Does the 49ers WR situation become clearer, especially with Aiyuk? If both of those things happen, this rumor gets a lot louder. My honest fan take as a fan, I'll say this. A.J. Brown in red and gold would be insane. Absolutely insane. But it only happens if the price is right. The cap works, and the front office believes this is the final piece. The 49ers don't make panic moves. They make calculated ones. All right, faithful, that's gonna do it for today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, this rumor analysis, and real 49ers talk, hit that like button, subscribe to 49ers Nation Report. We're pushing hard toward 200 subscribers, and every single one of you helps this channel grow. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Would you trade for A.J. Brown? Is he worth the price? Or should the Niners build another way? This is Victor. This is 49ers Nation Report. Bang bang Niner gang, faithful forever.